Okay, my name is Owen and I am the son of James Ronald Owen, who was present on Operation Dominic on Christmas Island, 1961 to 62. Saw 24 detonations in 78 days. Unfortunately, no longer with us, died in 1994. I have a brother and sister. Unfortunately, my brother died in 1996, age 31. My sister, born blind in left eye, still with us, still here today, and has also had various tumours removed. I'm the lucky one of the family, but I'm the one that's spearheading our campaign for recognition for the British nuclear veterans, and bringing together the world where possible to make sure that the nuclear testing programme and its effects on the planet are not forgotten. So over the last couple of years, we've set up LABRATS, which is for the legacy of the atomic bomb recognition for atomic test survivors. And we've been enhancing the product as we've been moving along, working with people like ICAN, Peace Boat, CND, and across the pond with the National Association of Atomic Veterans, the NOE cleanup crew, Children of Atomic Veterans, and Still Glowing. And we believe that bringing the world together is the best way to have this voice for nuclear testing, the survivors. I don't like the word victim. I prefer to call us survivors of nuclear testing, and the effect that it's having on the planet. You know, the Runit Dome, the environment, the people, the generations of people that are still suffering is why we're here. So we are raising awareness through our ERA program, which is education, recognition and awareness. So our education program, we've created a LABRATS Academy, which is an online academy where people can go and children can go and do a quiz, watch a video, do a quiz and see this testing program. In the UK, British nuclear testing is not taught in schools. If you do history, do the Cold War, you will learn nothing about nuclear testing. So last year we managed to get it onto the Welsh Baccalaureate, which is in Wales. People can now take it as a subject and they can do their own research and prepare their own papers and do their own projects on it, which is a big step forward for us. And we're continuing the education because we feel that there's so many people in the world that are oblivious to the fact that these 9 countries did these nuclear weapons testing. I mean, there's people in the UK that have no idea that Britain even tested nuclear weapons. And we've got to overturn this hurdle and get it out there. So we created our 4 rats, and the rats are there. You know, we've got Runit after Runit Dome, we've got Dom after Operation Dominic, we've got Kitty, whose full name is Kitty Kiribati the LABRATI, because that was a competition on Facebook that everybody voted for, and she is the main spearhead for the children. And then we've got another one called Jesse, who's named after my father, who was, that was his nickname on the island and nickname all the way through the Navy. So these rats are there to raise awareness with the younger generation. It's something for them to get the hook to come in and start looking at nuclear testing and see the effects and see what happened. And have their picture taken with the life-size kitty that you've seen, and put it on social media. People click into it, people look through it. And it's this big awareness level raising that we're trying to do through our education. For our recognition program this year, it's the 70th anniversary of the first ever British test on the 3rd of October 1952 on the Montebello Islands just outside Western Australia. And it's 70 years. And the UK now stands alone after President Biden awarded a medal to the atomic veterans in America in December. The UK now stands alone as the last testing country not to formally recognise their veterans. France did it early on in 2021, say America did it in December 2021. So we're pushing really hard with our Look Me in the Eye campaign, which is there to ask the Prime Minister to look us in the eye. And Rebecca Long-Bailey MP got a question in the House of Commons at Prime Minister's Questions, and the Prime Minister agreed to meet with us. That was back in November. And we're still waiting for that meeting, but we're hopeful that it could be as soon as a couple of weeks. So we're really, really hopeful that with the people that we've now got on board and expanding this network of people through ICAN, through Mayors for Peace, and making sure that the world is aware of that the children are still suffering. You know, generations are still suffering. If you've watched the seminar today, you would have seen the wives and widows, which was so powerful. You would have seen the children are still suffering. You know, you've put 6 people on stage, 6 descendants, and 3 of them are in wheelchairs. You know, that's a really high percentage of people that are really, really suffering. So we're trying to get the UK government to end this injustice, and with people like Andy Burnham, the Metro Mayor, and Steve Rotherham, another Metro Mayor, we have got now a voice, and the voice is getting stronger and stronger and stronger. Bringing in Rebecca Johnson from CND, bringing in ICAN, bringing in these organisations. We don't want nuclear weapons to be anywhere near this planet. We already know the devastation that's happened. And the new studies that are happening, changes in science, the DNA studies that are happening, everything is moving in the right direction for us to get the recognition that these guys deserve. There's only a few thousand of the 22,000 that went to grapple left. There's only a few hundred left of the other tests, and we need to make sure that we don't wait until they're all gone. So this 70th anniversary year is the year where we can do it. We've got until the 3rd of October, and our aim and our goal is to have the UK government announce on the 3rd of October that they will be giving them some recognition. So we've now started it off with our seminar, and we've got 7 months of campaigning and lobbying to do. We have a strategic group set up now, and we are working extremely hard to make sure that recognition happens with some very high profile people, and it's gathering pace, which is exactly what we want. But we won't end there. If we get the recognition, we won't end there. The education program needs to go across the world. We're now working with organisations, and I didn't realise either that there are hundreds and thousands of organisations across the world on this subject. Some of them are on nuclear testing, nuclear weapons development, uranium mining, weapons disposal, people who work on nuclear submarines. There is this whole group of people, and we all share a common bond. The nuclear strand runs through them all, and we need to make sure that these people get the recognition they deserve, get the support they deserve. And there's so many people that have been excluded. The downwinders, for instance, in America, are excluded, and they're fighting to try and get recognition. There should not be any need to fight for recognition. There shouldn't be any need to fight to get the basic care that you need from these testing programs and how it's affected them. The Indigenous people of Australia, and we heard from Karina Lester yesterday, they're still fighting. Their lands are still contaminated. The Montebello Islands tells you to go there for an hour and then step off the island. Don't pick anything up because it's too radioactive. We can't live in a world like that. We can't do that. We have to acknowledge what we did in the past was wrong, and we've done that with other things. We all have a history, we all have a past, and things we did differently back then 70 years ago, and it was wrong. But acknowledge that it's wrong, give the recognition, and move forward and do something about it. We can't just hide it in archives, we can't just push it away. We're at a time where we need, and we really need, to raise the issue, deal with the issue, decide what we're going to do about it, and move forward. And the TPNW has that in Article 6 and 7, where there is victim assistance. And the UK government refuses, and so do all of the other testing countries, refuse to sign the TPNW because it would lead to the nuclear weapons being destroyed. But there's no reason why they can't engage with the treaty and help the victims, like the Americans did with the landmines. They didn't sign the treaty, but they engaged, they provided help, they provided support, they provided expertise, they provided money. At the moment, the UK government refuses to even send an observer to the first meeting of state parties. Go and listen to these people, go and talk to them, and go out there and realise the impact this has had. I got told, well, it's a niche area. And my answer back was, it's not a niche area. It's impacted the whole world. Go and look it up on the internet. Go and look at the videos. Go and listen to the veterans. Go and listen to the Indigenous people, the testing, the documents that are now available. In this digital age, we have gotten so much more information on the testing program than we've ever had before. And we are pushing it out there for people to see. The Marshallese, the Gilbertese, what we did to their lands was so bad. I mean, it's just devastating to them. And we can't allow that just to be airbrushed from history. We can't just allow it to be, something we did 70 years ago, 60 years ago, 50 years ago. we're not interested in that anymore. We can't have that because the effects are still happening now. So LABRATS is here to help any organisation. We will work with any organisation that are dealing within the nuclear sector to try and raise a voice, get awareness, and get this voice to expand across the world. That's what we're trying to do, is expand it as much as possible, so that somebody who comes across it and says, actually, I didn't know anything about that, can go to a central resource, look at it, and then go around the world and start looking in their areas. And go, actually, there's a local group, or, oh, look, there's an area I didn't know about Cornel Lester and the tribe. That's down the road from me in Australia. I'm going to go and see them. I'm going to go and engage with them. And to get the politicians, get them educated. So many politicians come into especially in the UK, they come into the House of Commons and they've got a 10-page document on this is what nuclear testing's about. Well, 10 pages doesn't cut it. It's a massive subject. So we need to keep educating them as they come through. There's a lot more younger MPs coming through now who, were born in the 90s, a long time after the testing, have no idea. They weren't taught it in school, so they have no idea about it until a veteran comes to them or a family comes to them, and then they start to get engaged. So it's about engaging these people, raising the recognition levels so that they do get recognition and everybody gets the recognition they deserve, and raising the awareness level up so that anybody who's interested can go to a resource and see it, expand their knowledge, perhaps move on to different areas, what they're interested in, but having it there and available so that everybody can see it. And that's what we're about, and that's what we're trying to do. And we are making big steps forward in the 2 years that we've been running with the rats, and making sure that when people see the rat, they go, oh, that's nuclear testing. They were lab rats, they were guinea pigs, and that's what we're here for.
Excellent. You answered everything I was going to ask you. Because when you